Hi, and welcome back to the Film and TV channel. And we're going to have a look at a psychological horror comedy drama. Yeah, we'll talk about the comedy element in a moment. I'm not overly convinced about that side of it. It's British, so I like to think we produce some sort of good dark comedy stuff, but I'm not too sure with this one. We're going to have a look at something called She Will, a 15 certificate, 95 minutes. Directorial debut by Charlotte Colbert, who is also the writer for the film. And the film was produced by Jessica Malik and Bob Last, with Dario Argento being an executive producer and Edward R. Pressman also. I must admit, when I see Dario Argento on it, I'm sort of a bit excited, but then I always tone it down a bit because I probably dislike more than I like when he's involved in stuff. And all these scores are 27th of July at 8 a.m. Rotten Tomatoes audience, they're okay on it actually. A 3.3 out of 5, so that equates to 6.6 out of 10. That's the guys who write into Rotten Tomatoes. Internet Movie Database of Joe Public, not as hot, 5.4 out of 10. So not a disaster. That's based on 624 scores and reviews. 284 people scored between 6 and 9, and just 221 between 2 and 5. So it's in the positive, isn't it? 56% positivity. The cast includes Alice Krieg, who does a great job, Malcolm McDowell, who does his Malcolm McDowell sort of job, John McCrae, Rupert Everett, I hardly recognised him, Amy Manson, Jonathan Harris, Daniel LePayne, and Kota Ebert. Not the greatest, interesting mix, but not the greatest sort of bunch of actors, but hey, it's British, so what do you expect? And it's about a former movie star, Veronica Gent, who's of course played by Krieg, goes to a healing retreat in Scotland with her nurse Desi Hatoum after a double mastectomy. The place where she stays is a site where women were burnt as witches centuries before. Their ashes fill the land and give her the power to exact revenge within her dreams. Yeah, so yeah, that's in there. I mean, on the script on the page, it looks okay. It looks an okay synopsis. I don't think they quite delivered or got it over as well as perhaps they could have done, unfortunately. But let's have a look at what the critics are saying. Rotten Tomatoes approval rating. Well, the critics like it. 86% positivity, 54 fresh, and just 8 rotten. And it averages 6.8 out of 10, so that's pretty good, isn't it? The consensus of the site, more unsettling than truly scary. I wouldn't say it was either. In fairness, She Will cast a thoughtful, hypnotic spell made even stronger by its restrained approach and some strong performances. No real quibbles about 2 or 3 of the guys and the actors in this, performance-wise. But a restrained approach for me didn't quite work. Metascore, yeah, again, positive, 73% positivity. That's based on 18 people, with 14 positive, 4 mixed, and no negative. And it scored anywhere between 50 and 100. So if you look at the individual critics themselves, people we know about, Mark Kermode, you probably know him. He was fresh on this on Rotten Tomatoes. He's writing for The Observer here in the UK. He said it marries the spiralling, self-reflexive narrative of Shirley Jackson's novel The Haunting of Hill House with echoes of the off-kilter visual sensibility of the 1962 cult odyssey Carnival of Souls. Yeah, and for me, he's probably better than neither of them. Ed Poulton for the Times here in the UK. She Will is somewhere between a feminist revenge horror and an art house psychodrama. Don't expect too much in the way of scores or gore, but it's rum, stylish, and sometimes strikingly original, or a bit boring and arty-farty to look at, is how I probably would look at it. Josh Goller is rotten, though. He's from the Spectrum Culture. He said, visually and sonically, the elements for a compelling cinematic experience are there. Absolutely, I totally agree. And yet a crucial ingredient is missing. Again, agree. I'm more with Josh than the other guys, that's for sure. IndieWire's Kate Erbland give it 58 out of 100, so middling. Krieg is magical enough in a complex role. Yes, she does a great job. And relative newcomer Everhart makes her a wonderful foil. She does very well as well. But she can only pull the film along through sheer force of will for so long. Again, I agree with Kate on that one. There has to be a story. There has to be something interesting to go along with the character. And there's just not enough, as I said, on the page it reads okay, but there's just not enough of it. New York Times' Jeanette Katsuliso was very happy, 80 out of 100, blending sensuous imagery with jabs of feminist wit. At one point, a vibrator is weaponized against a male intruder. Colbert sends a heroine on a transformative journey of revenge and renewal. Oh, the vibrator was the comedy. Now I understand. I totally missed that. Well, I didn't, but I didn't think it was particularly funny. Total Films Neil Smith gave it 4 out of 5. He liked it. His verdict: a woman scorned gets some belated payback in a creepy chiller with a hashtag #MeToo resonance. Yeah, as I said, it seemed all right on the page. I mean, the synopsis was fine. I just didn't like the arty-farty way they put it on screen, unfortunately. Yeah, I think Movie Nation's Roger Moore I mean, this is my thoughts, but I like what Movie Nation's Roger Moore said. He said, "You watch this film and never for a second do you forget you're seeing art in motion." And he meant that in a good way. But for me, it's a bad way. I do like art. I do like, I've visited galleries. I like looking at certain pictures and stuff, but in a film, I want it to be moving along and entertaining. There just wasn't enough in this for me, and that sort of sums it up. Even though Roger Moore's been positive in that, saying that, I just think of it as a negative. I don't want to watch a moving picture that looks interesting and has okay elements for 90 minutes. I want something a little bit more and deeper than that. I mean, the elements were there, as already mentioned by one of the critics, for an okay story, for an okay film. But more could have been made of McDowell's character. But you just got the feel he was only there for a day's shoot or something, and then he had to sod off somewhere else. And that's the feeling you got from it, that it was all just added in as a little bit extra, and all a bit ad hoc. They could have certainly expanded the story with McDowell a little bit more to make it a little bit more interesting. There's some nice creepy bits, but only bits, and that's what they are. The two main female characters had potential, but again, just weren't built up enough for me. Just not built on for me. And as I said, I'm a bit lost as to what constitutes comedy in this, apart from the weaponized vibrator. See that? Perhaps I was tired. I don't think I dozed off during it. I think it was. I watched it all. I just don't. I do like the horror comedies that we can put out here in Britain, but this didn't work for me. And I watched this around the same time I watched Christina Ricci in Monstrous as well, which is getting panned by the critics, as opposed to this, which is a real loving with the critics. And I found Monstrous far more entertaining in a basic horror sort of way. I just thought this was too airy-fairy and too arty. I will give it a score. I'll give it a 5, but I was just disappointed based on some of the critique and some of the scores. So I was expecting something a lot better than what we get on screen. But as I say, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think, guys. Anyway, as I said, did you laugh all the way through it? Let me know what you thought. Anyway, but thanks for watching. Please, until we meet again, stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.